I go by GhostedN1, and today I'm doing a lyrical breakdown on my Freestyle BUSSIT, which is up on the Frey Vision channel, and it is also going to be up on the main platforms for you to listen to, such as Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon. During this breakdown, I'm going to go through the lyrics. In moments where I feel like there's a reference, I'm going to explain it, and for other parts, I'm either going to keep it rolling, or I might just give you a cheeky little look for you to know it's self-explanatory. So starting off with, I'm on some WWE shit. If I hit you with the spear, you get spared. So obviously spear is a reference to one of the finishing moves or an attack that some of the wrestlers do. Trying to make money, trying to see it get squared. I don't want to see things turn out pear-shaped. Money have to make? What do you want from me? If they do, jagged on my edge, I'm crispy. I gotta be looking at my beard. I promise, when I put on it, if you don't feel it, I think you're weird. So the first one is Jagged Edge. That is a music group, so I've broke it up into Jagged on my Edge, and in that I've referenced 3 of their songs, which is I Promise, I Gotta Be, and the third one is When I Put in It. There's also a reference to the wrestler who's named Edge, which is also kind of a throwback to the spear, as that was his ultimate move or finisher during wrestling. Damn, no Rod Van. When I get booked, I feel like the man. So Rod Van Dam is a wrestler, so that's just me dropping his name in right there. Put on a big show, bring up my little bro, now I'm 2 for 2, like my name is Sam. Put on a big show, which is obviously a reference to the wrestler Big Show, and bring up my little bro, so I'm saying I'll bring him to the shows with me, or even to perform himself, right? So now I'm 2 for 2, like my name is Sam, so that's 2 birds with 1 stone. But the main thing I'm going to talk about right now is the 2 for 2 like Sam. Now, how many of y'all grew up with a Sam's Chicken or around Northfield? Maybe not too many. Let me tell y'all something. Let me take y'all back, man. So, when I was growing up and I was in school, Sam's Chicken was a chicken shop, right? And they did this thing called 2 for 2, which was £2 and you'd get 2 chicken burgers and 2 fries. It was a meal deal that most of us used to get after finishing school. So you and your friend would turn up, £1 each. Bada bing, bada boom. Now you both have full bellies, feeling good. Nowadays, yeah, I feel like that same meal is probably like £5, £7, because extortion goes through the roof. But back in the day, that was the one. For those that know, you know, that was some good stuff. So shout out to y'all that recognize that one. You know what I mean? That's very, it's niche, but now you know. Set boundaries. So if you want to cross that line, get ringed out like it was a clothesline, kick to the face, that's 619. So obviously, set your limits between you and your people. You know what I'm saying? If they cross that line, you know, ring them out like a clothesline. You get it? Because that's what they used to do a lot of the times when you see people get ringed out. It was a clothesline, knock them out, or kick to the face. That's 619. That's obviously the most noticeable reference, I feel like, because it's Rey Mysterio. You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest, most notable one I feel like you can definitely hear. You'll be like, oh yeah, I get that, I get that. Then there's a pause and it goes, or hit you with a Thomas Dubois in your chest like Tony Stark. I'm miraculous, coming noir. Thomas Dubois. Right, that's a reference to Boondocks, and there's an episode where he gets possessed by Stink Meaner, right? And he's going crazy. For y'all don't know, he's going crazy, and someone's shouting at him, and he gets angry, right? And he just jumps up and he kicks a man in his chest with both feet, right? So that's how this links to the next bar, right? In your chest like Tony Stark. Now, for obviously y'all that have watched Iron Man or know of Iron Man, you know he has his power pack in the center of his chest. So simple reference back to back. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where the kick's gonna land. And that's what he has. I'm miraculous, call me noir. So for any of y'all that have watched Miraculous Ladybug, the 2 main characters, there's Ladybug herself, but then there's also Black Noir. Was it Cat Noir? It's Cat Noir. Black Noir, that's the boys. Cat Noir, right? So it's just a reference to that. I'm miraculous, call me noir. It makes sense, no? Fist to the face like Ricky Stark is a cannon coming downhill. Make a brother park you've hit rock bottom. Flies, I swat them. Catch me outside, I ain't picking no cut. So let me break this one down for you. In AEW, there's a wrestler called Ricky Stark. And what his taunt is, he's put his hand to his face. He'll do this. And then he'll do this. That's the reference to fist to the face, right? But now it's a cannon coming downhill. Make a brother park. So I'm saying you're going to get punched in the face, right? So this is the build-up. Doosh, you get it. But that line is also a reference to Big Show again, because he had a finishing move which would be the punch to the face. I don't remember the actual name for it right now, but he would, and then bang, make you sleep. You've hit rock bottom, so obviously reference to The Rock. That was one of his finishers. Flies, I swat them, get them out of here. We don't need to deal with that. Catch me outside, I ain't picking no cut. So the cut is short for cotton, so it's meant to be catch me outside, I ain't picking no cotton, but I cut it off. So that's what I'm saying. But I pick up a belt, not saying I'm the hardest out, but some things can only be felt. No need for this to get spelled. So I'm not gonna pick no cotton, but I pick up a belt. Give me the championship, baby. That's what I deserve, you know what I'm saying? Being a little Okay, I'm not saying I'm the hardest out, but some things can only be felt. There's no need for this to get smelt. So there's no reason for you have to deep it more than what you feel right now. You know what I'm saying? Just feel it. We don't need to go to these outsources. Just feel it. No need for you to get dealt with TLC, no loving, heartbreak kid barking, see the prize I'm marking. So the layman part for that is TLC, so I mean it for two different references, tender loving care, but there's none of that. And then obviously with the wrestling reference, it's tables, ladders and chairs. So there's no loving in that because we're going crazy. Heartbreak Kid. Now, for y'all that remember Shawn Michaels, that was his nickname during his wrestling career, Heartbreak Kid. I'm saying he's going crazy. See the prize I'm marking. So if it's like ladder in the bank match, I'm stealing the prize. It's mine. You know what I'm saying? It's on me, baby. It's on me. Move like Mugen, who can keep off? I got the tool in my gene. It's a hooligan, no baby Keem. So now we're gonna go to a little bit of an anime reference, right? For any of y'all that have watched Samurai Champloo, right? There's three main characters, but the two references right now is Mugen. So Mugen is one of the main characters, and he's pretty hot-headed, and he's a pretty rash with his decisions, right? Pretty unorthodox, a bit crazy. So I'm saying, who can keep up? I got the tool in my gene. So now the two meanings to that, one is cheeky. The second meaning is if I'm carrying a weapon, right? Like a knife or probably a knife. We'll go with a knife, you know? The second reference within that is obviously it'd be in a Gene, that's what I'm wearing, but the second main character that I'm referencing is a guy named Gene, and he is the opposite of Mugen. He is a very cool, calm, collective, and calculated guy, and he's also keeping up with Mugen because they're like the opposites of each other. It's a hooligan, no Baby Keem. So Baby Keem's an artist. He has a song called Hooligan. And I'm saying whatever depiction you're taking the tool as, it's a hooligan because it wants to get into whatever it gets into. Cheeky. Feel like two type of actors that go by the last name Reeves because I'm Superman breaking out of the Matrix. Watch when I leave. So the two actors that I'm referencing here are, what's his name, bro? So the two actors I'm referencing, right? One is obviously at the time, it was Christopher Reeve who was playing Superman. That's why I'm Superman breaking out of the Matrix. And then with the Matrix, I'm referencing Neo, which was played by Keanu Reeves. So watch when I leave. So I'm saying, if the woolly hat lean, then you know it's a bop. If you mess up the scene, then you have to get cropped. Don't fuck up the bass, or you get dropped. If you don't know, boy, better. Hey. If the woolly hat lean, then you know it's a bop. Is a reference to Jay Huss in his song Lean a Bop, because he says, if you're feeling the vibe, make your woolly hat lean to the side. You get that? So we're vibing. If you mess up the scene, then you have to get cropped. Just standard editing, right? If you're messing things up, you gotta get out of here. Don't fuck up the bass, or you get dropped. That's a reference to JME. Oh, what's the song now, man? What is the song? Don't fuck up the bass or you get dropped is a reference to JME's song If You Don't Know, because obviously in the beginning intro there's a scene where he says don't fuck up the bass, fam. Yeah? So if you do, gotta get out of here. And if you don't know, boy better know. And obviously just a reference to boy better know, because that's the line, ain't it? Flying off the top rope, wrestling is the trope. You artists getting washed. I ain't talking no soap. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, no? The only thing I might explain is washed. If you don't know what wash means, I'm saying like you're getting beaten. I'm beating you in competition. Like it's whitewashed. It's donezo. It's what's the words? It's gone clear. It's no competition. It's there's more words for this. You know what I mean? It's a blowout. You know what I mean? It's. You know what I'm saying? Okay, for the next section, I'm going to read out all the bars for it, for the 8-bar, and I'm going to go through it piece by piece because I feel like it's a lot to try and digest at once, right? I'm the Undertaker, so place your bets because it's pot of paper, gon' cause gangster writers. Grab me a cane and walk so righteous. It's a crash course, watch out for nitrous. No, but you green, but this one rises. Blood pressure, big surprises. Are you ready to play the game? Okay, so in the first line, I'm the Undertaker, obviously. One of the main wrestlers, but the second meaning is an undertaker is in the sense of someone that takes on the bets for like things and competitions, which is why if you place your bets, this pot of paper, so pot of paper, which is an artist, right? But I'm saying pot of paper as also like, which would be like the bank, right? The what you're placing your bets on is gonna cause gangster writers, which is a throwback to pot of paper, which is one of his song names, right? And I'm saying people are gonna go a bit crazy, a bit delirious, they're gonna act a bit away because that's how people do for money, especially when the stakes are gonna be so high. So grab me a cane, which is now another reference back to the wrestler, right? Which is Undertaker's brother in the show, but also pass me the cane because I'm gonna walk so righteous because now I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling however you want to say it, you know what I'm saying? Head gone. It's a crash course, watch out for nitrous. Now this is a reference to Crash Bandicoot because the nitro boxes that you'd see within the game, if you touch them or hit them, they blow up because it's damage and you're gonna lose your life. So that's what I say, I know you about your green, but this one rises. Blood pressure. So once again, play back onto the pot of paper, money being green. So I know you're about your money and you're trying to get to it, but this scenario, right, it's not going to be good. You know what I'm saying? It's going to rise up. Blood pressure, big surprises. Are you ready to play the game? So now that line in itself is a reference to Triple H, which is another wrestler, and in his intro music, that's how he used to say. You know what I'm saying? That was his thing to say. It's a Hell in a Cell. No, you can't run from this. Your only chance is wait for the bell to dismiss. So obviously, Hell in a Cell was one of the main fight types within wrestling, and obviously because it's enclosed, you've got nowhere to go. The only way you usually come out of it is when the bell rings, because someone's either been pinned or submitted or given up. I move like the Miz, cause I'm taking the piss. I breathe, spit water, called that Alpha Mist. So obviously, the Miz is a wrestler. When I remember watching it, he was always known for being like cocky, arrogant, and taking the piss. I breathe, spit water, called that Alpha Mist. So now the first reference is to Triple H, because before he would enter the ring, he would have water in his mouth and he would. But then the second reference is there's a musician called Alpha Mist, and one of his songs is called Breathe. Ironically, some fun fact, I've sampled that and I made it into a Jersey beat. No, none of y'all have heard it, but if it ever comes out as a Jersey remix, then you'll know. So those are the two references for that. No, you're not ready for this. Triple H type of threat. Reach under the ring, guess what I get? Do something, give you about it. Sledgehammer, make the comp wet. So once again, another reference back to Triple H. When I reach under the ring and I'm making you guess what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a sledgehammer, because that was his weapon of choice that he'd usually pick. Do Something is also a name of a song by a group named Comp, and I remember this song because when I used to play Def Jam Vendetta, shout out to y'all that played that on PS2, which was also a wrestling game, ironically. That was a song that played within it, so there's like a hidden reference to that during those bars. Pause, make a man sweat. Pause, let me reword it. You're gonna need a tombstone because the power that I dry is gonna crack your skull open. So in the first reference, I'm saying I'm gonna make a man wet. I'm referring to I'm gonna hit you with the weapon, you're gonna bleed. But I realized that sounds crazy, so I just said pause, make a man sweat because you'd be nervous, but also pause to that because we live in a why pause no homo society nowadays. So I see how crazy it can sound, so that's what that's for. So let me reword it. You're gonna need a tombstone, yeah, which is a special move that's usually used by Undertaker, because the power that I drive, right, it was Tombstone Power Driver, so I've broken it up. It's gonna crack your skull open. So I'm saying with this hammer, sledgehammer, pause, boop in your head, and guess what? Alright then. That's better. Really gotta focus on the phrasing. Feeling like I'm in Def Jam because your boy is gonna got his blazing. So obviously that's just a reference to me saying I realize how kind of crazy this may sound out of context, even with context. But then once again, I've reference back to Def Jam, because before you do your ultimate, you'd get something called your blazing, which is when your character would go a bit crazy, then rah, and then you'd try and grab the man, do your ultimate, do your finisher. No pause on that. Take that how you want it. Pause. Climbing up the ladder for the bank your boy is chasing. When I reach there, they're like, see him there? Now they all start praising. That's another reference to one of the match modes you'd get within wrestling, which would be ladder in the bank. So when you climb up for it to try and steal the bank, your boy's chasing the money, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So when I reach there, they're like, see him there? Now they all start praising. So that's a reference to obviously saying, when you grind for the things you want during the proceedings, everyone's a bit more quiet and they just watch. But once you reach the part you want to be at, that's when everyone's like, oh my God, you've done so well. I've always supported you. I've been watching this whole time. You know what I mean? So, a little play on that. Bag me a diva. If she got attitude, then it's an adjustment. STFUC, I'm no punk, need you. In this context, diva is in one of the women wrestlers, because that's what they would go by within wrestling. If she's got attitude, then it's an adjustment, which was, I think, pretty sure John Cena's ultimate move, the attitude adjustment. STFU, that was, once again, John Cena's ultimate before it was changed, which was, I'm pretty sure, was the submission type he had on the floor. CM no punk, so that's a reference to CM Punk. Need you to pull on my lever, because baby, I need some replenishment. RAW is what I plan to give to you. So obviously this is an innuendo. I'm not going into a debate of what it sounds like. You get it, you get it. You don't, you're too young. But we're just going to leave that at that. And then RAW, because obviously SmackDown versus Raw. So that's a reference to that, is what I plan to give to you, right? Remember, these are just lyrics. Yeah, this is just lyrical. Yeah. I don't mean nothing by that. Just an innuendo. Cheekiness for the something. You know what I'm saying? Well, thank you. That has been my breakdown on Boss It, which is the freestyle once again on Frey Vision. You can catch it now on your main platforms such as Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Music. You can also use the audio on Snapchat, Instagram, and It might also be on CapCut. But thank you for joining me as I've explained the lyrical breakdown. More to come. I'm gonna work backwards in the ones that I've already out, and then probably go back up, just so there's more things to be done. Hope you enjoyed.
I'm on some WWE shit. If I hear with the speed get spared, trying to make money, trying to see it get squared. I don't wanna see things turn out pear shaped. If they do, jagging on my edge, I'm crispy. I gotta be looking at my beard. I promise. When I put oomph in it, if you don't feel it, I think you're weird. Damn, no run van. When I get booked, I feel like the man. Put on a big show, bring on my little bro. Now I'm 2 for 2, like my name is Sam. Set boundaries. So if you wanna cross that line, get ringed out like it was a close line. Kick to the face, that's 619.